This is Aditi Ghosh on your favorite Pythagorean numerology channel, Inner World Revealed. And in this vlog, we're going to talk about your personalized numerology forecast for the month of October 2022. October surely is an exciting month for all of us with a lot of festivals lined up. So we have Diwali, Navratri, Halloween, all of them coming up during this month, and that's really getting us all excited. We are having a lot of plans of spending our holidays in a particular way, of socializing and all that. However, when I look at this month through the perspective of numerology, what I see is that this is the universal month 7 coming within the universal year 6, and that makes me say that definitely this month is going to have an air which will make people a bit self-absorbent and introspective. So in spite of all this socializing and mingling plans, what's going to happen is we may feel like spending some time alone. 7 surely supports spirituality. 7 is a very spiritual number, and so these religious ceremonies are definitely going to be highly supported, and people are going to feel that deep connect with the Almighty. However, what's going to happen is this social mixing, the socializing, mixing and mingling of people, that's going to be a bit strained, and either it's going to be a bit strained or it's going to be maintained at the bare minimal levels. Outwardly, activities would remain at the very bare minimal level. It's going to be more of an internal month when people are really going to delve into the depths of their mind, and they're really going to look deep into the problems that they are facing, and they're going to come up with very interesting solutions. Sometimes you may also see that answers to very long-standing mysteries are also found. However, even if these answers are found, even if the mysteries are solved, these answers won't be shared with the masses. Even though many interesting finds will happen during this time, the pace of progress, the pace of growth would be a bit slow during this time. The overall pace of progress and growth will be slow. Also, I would say that this is not going to be a very suitable time for people to really use their assertive energy or use their resources to really chase materialistic goals or really be driven and try to push for progress right now. It's not going to be a good time for that. Rather, if the people of the world plan to enjoy a little break from the routine, if they plan to relax their minds, it's going to be better, because a lot has already been done, and right now it's a good idea to look at whatever has already been achieved and plan to create a better future by planning something better for tomorrow. So that was a little peek into how the world as a whole, or how the people of the world as a whole would appear to be during this time. But to know what role you are going to play, if I have to pinpoint what would be your specific role in the whole story, we need to look at your personal year and personal month numbers. Now, I'm going to make this process of understanding the personal month numerology horoscope for you very simple right now. You don't need to find your personal month numbers, don't need to go through all that complication. You just need to know your ongoing personal year, and finding that is extremely simple. It's extremely simple. You just need to add all the digits of your last birthday, find the sum, and then reduce the sum to a single digit. The digit that you're getting right now is your personal year number, which is ongoing right now. And this personal year number is going to change on your upcoming birthday. So basically, your birthday is a very important transition point. It's a very important code for you to make a note of. We can go deeper into it. If you want to know more about the moment of your birth, about the importance of the moment of your birth, you can watch my vlog on the topic by clicking on the I button at the top right corner, and that will give you a lot more insight on this topic. But for now, in short, what I'm going to tell you is your birthday, or the specific day on which you were born, basically divides the month into two halves. For instance, let's take the month of October, because we are dealing with the month of October right now. So if you were born on the 15th of any month, the 1st to the 15th of October for you would be the first part of the month, and from 15th to the 31st of October would be for you the second part of the month. So if you just know your personal year number, and if you know your transition point, you're going to understand the flow of events during the personal month, and that is going to help you to come up with solutions to some of the issues that could come up before you. And I can really go deeper and deeper into this topic, but right now I'm not planning to make this vlog very lengthy. It's already going to be a bit on the lengthy side. So I would recommend that you can read my book Cycle of 9, which is all about time correction, about being in the right place at the right time. So definitely do read that. And Cycle of 9 basically is a sequel to my first book, All is One, which is basically the beginner's guide to numerology. You can read both these books completely for free on Kindle Unlimited. The links are provided in the description box. Okay, so now let me move into the personal month forecasts for all of you, and let us begin with all of you who are in your personal year 1. And for all of you who are in your personal year 1, I would like to say that the first part of October for you is basically the continuation of the trend of the second part of September. And during that time, I'm sure that you might have realized that you desired to do something, you believed in something, your gut feeling told you something which was the correct thing for you to choose or decide upon or begin. And right now, I would really, during the first part of this October, I would really urge you to believe in yourself, to believe in your abilities, and do not doubt yourself, and go ahead with whatever your gut feeling is telling you, whatever your instincts are telling you. During the second part of the month, you also again have to stick to the decisions that you've already made, and you have to follow them up. However, do not be very forceful with your ways, and be a little agreeable with people, whatever they say. If they give you some views, or try to listen to them, try to accept their viewpoints, but also do not lose your focus at the same time. Try to be tactful, diplomatic, and be a bit kind and helpful towards them. And also, I would say that avoid controversy, at least during the second part of October. So this brings me to all of you who are in your personal year 2. And for you, the first part of October, the trends coming up in the first part of October would basically be a continuation of the trends that you've already felt during the second part of September. And this could basically be a trend of feeling a bit emotional or a bit threatened because of certain situations which seem to be out of your control. I would say that you give in to the flow. Do not try to control them. They cannot be controlled. All you can do is you can try to lay low. You can try to avoid getting too much attention. You can try to be diplomatic and tactful, and you can try to let people have this attention. In some way or the other, you could also be put in the limelight without any investment or without any inputs from your side. You might find yourself in the middle of a controversy, but to avoid it, all you have to do is you have to cool people down and remain very tactful and grounded. That is what you're going to do. During the second part of the month, you're going to feel this tense air lightening up a bit. So you can also feel some positive feedback coming your way, and that will help you lighten up and become more creative with your ways. And make sure during that time that you share your creative ideas, you share your feelings with people. However, during this entire tenure of the personal year 2, remember this diplomatic and tactful undertone, because sudden things could be coming up and you could be a little more emotional during this time, unable to see things clearly. This brings me to all of you who are in your personal year 3, and for you the first part of October is going to be a continuation of the trends of the second part of September that you've already felt, and that is going to be a trend of socializing. The social support would be tilting towards you, and you're going to receive more positive feedback around this time. So you're going to feel a bit more creative and a bit more optimistic about life. So this would be a great time for traveling, socializing, mixing up with people, and you can also dress up and attend social events or gatherings, because your charm is also going to be noticed by people. During the second part of the month, you have to bring your attention to all the practical aspects of your life. Say for instance, you can look into your finances and see that they are organized. You can look into your living space, and you can look into your office space and see that things are in order and system and method is maintained. You have to keep all these things optimized, and you also have to look into all the basic things of life and see that you're not ignoring all the things that bring stability into your life. So the second part of October is all going to be about looking into all the things that bring balance and stability into your life. This brings me to all of you who are in your personal year 4, and for you also the trends that are coming during the first part of October would be I'm sorry for the bad weather. So for you also the trends that are coming during the first part of October would be a continuation of the trends that you've already seen during the second part of September. And this entire phase, starting from the second part of September to the end of the first part of October, is going to be a very vital time for you, because all the decisions that you're going to make right now during this time are going to set the tone for many years to come. So pay full attention, and whatever you decide upon during this time, decide by keeping the future in mind. The second part of October is going to have a lighter note, and you're going to suddenly become busy with a lot of activities also. You're going to be answering emails, attending meetings, attending social gatherings, and so much. There'll be a lot of activities. There could be also some traveling happening around that time, and basically you would all of a sudden feel that your life is filled with a lot of activities and suddenly everyone needs you. So this brings me to all of you who are in your personal year 5. And for you also, the trends that you're going to see during the first part of October would be a continuation of trends that you had seen during the second part of September. And this entire period for you would be very exciting, filled with a lot of experiences and a lot of activities. It would keep you very, very busy and also very, very nervous, because there are going to be a lot of experiences which are going to keep your nervous energy very high. The second part of October then is going to bring a bit of a breather and a balancer, when you would get the time to rest your nerves, but the responsibilities at the domestic front could be on the rise, and you would then need to pay attention to your home front, to your relationships, to your children, to your relatives, and you would have to balance both work front and home front. And this balancing act that you would do during that time would bring a lot of difference into whatever would be happening next for you. This brings me to all of you who are in your personal year 6. And for you also, the trends that are going to come up during the first part of October would be a continuation of the trends that you've already felt during the second part of September. And it's going to be all about paying attention to home, family, relatives, business relations, children, brain children, all of it. You have to balance all these areas. Work and home can go hand in hand, given the fact you're doing the balancing act correct. Sometimes people tend to ignore a particular area, ignore the home front. I hope you don't do that, and you pay attention to all the people who matter to you during that time. The second part of the month would be a time when you pay attention to your own self, you pay attention to your own health, your mind, and you make plans to improve yourself, have a self-improvement schedule, look into all the problems that you're facing with your health, do a health checkup, and look into your body, whether it's functioning properly, and gear up for the very active time which would be coming after that. This brings me to all of you who are in your personal year 7, and for you also, the trends that you're going to see during the first part of October would be a continuation of the trends that you have already seen during the second part of September. And this entire time, the second part of September and the first part of October, would be a time of a lot of self-introspection, of a lot of mind work. However, outwardly activities won't seem to be happening much and life may feel a bit stagnant. But don't worry, this is the personal year 7 for you, and things can be a bit slow during the 7th time. However, as you transition into the second part of the month, things may pick up in pace and you may feel a bit more energetic and a bit more focused, and I would say that you can, start focusing on your goals a bit more during that time, and you should work a bit harder and have a plan ready for the second part of the month, because you can achieve a lot. However, do not try to chase materialistic goals, or do not be very pushy to achieve particular targets, because they may simply slip away. This brings me to all of you who are in your personal year 8 right now. And 8 is either a time of a lot of personal limitations or entire spiritual freedom. And the trends that you're going to observe during the first part of October would be the continuation of the trends that you already saw during the second part of September. And I would say that right now you would see that certain things are working out for you while others are not working, and you have to make a note of all the things that are working in your favor and all the things that are not. Continue doing the things that are working in your favor, and if something seems to be not working, stop doing that or change that or just do the opposite to that immediately. Right now you would immediately start seeing something different happening in that area. Now, as the second part of the month sets in, you have to become more kind and empathetic towards whosoever you encounter during that time. People would really need your support during that time, and you have to make sure that you show selflessness and generosity and do not act on selfish motives. It would also be a good time to get rid of all the things that are not needed by you anymore. Clear your living space, clear your office space, and donate the things that you do not need anymore. Finally, this brings me to all of you who are in your personal year 9, and for you also, the first part of the month, during the first part of the month, the trends that you're going to feel would be a continuation of the trends that you felt during the second part of September. And I'm sure you're right now feeling this process of completion or culmination happening in your life. Certain things which are very dear to you are kind of getting removed from your periphery, and it could be a very trying experience emotionally because you're very deeply attached to them, and change and transition is always very difficult to process. But once you make space for new things slowly start coming in and filling in the space, and I'm sure as soon as the next phase sets in, the next part of the month sets in, you're going to feel that. You're going to feel the urge to do something new, to begin something new, to decide upon something new, because the decisive energy is going to be there. However, a tendency towards acting on selfishness could be felt by you, because it's going to be a one activated time. The month number is going to be the number one. However, you have to remember that the overall theme of the year is 9, which strongly goes against any kind of selfishness and is all about selflessness. So I'm sure you're going to keep that theme in mind and going to decide upon the things that are coming up for you right now. So ladies and gentlemen, this was your personalized numerology horoscope for the month of October 2022. If you were always wondering why some people seem to be ahead of you, getting all the advantageous positions, making all the money, having lucky relationships, raising happy children, having abundance in their life while you're not getting to avail all of that, I would simply say that they are better time than you are. They are better aligned with the cosmos, and you too can be better aligned with the cosmos. You too can be better timed through these numerous numerology remedies that I'm offering to all of you completely for free. If you really value that, remember to support me back by subscribing to my channel and helping me grow. If you like my logs, please remember to hit the like button before you go. Thank you so much for your precious time and your support. Have a very nice time. Bye bye.